welcome back.
Very correct.
Hey, thank you guys if you've been here. We are the You Gotta Get Up podcast.
That is very factual.
I'm your co-host, Elliot Jennings, Mr. Boulevard.
Meet me on the boulevard.
I'll open up to you, girl.
That's right.
And I'm here with my co-host.
That sexy boy, Drake Plants.
Whoa.
My wife would call me that.
Okay.
Yeah.
As she should.
And are you saying my wife's wrong?
No comment.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome back, friends. This is episode 7, like Mr. Jennings has said. But this episode, we got nerdy again.
We're getting nerdy. We're
Getting
going on a
nerdy.
shopping spree.
That's absolutely correct. So we had an idea of actually saying, it's like, man, if I had this amount of money, what would I use in this budget to help continue my production career? So that's what we did. And so this one is going to be about, we're going to make a budget out of $5,000.
Yeah.
Which sounds a little crazy. It might sound like that Donald Trump meme where it's like, I got a small loan of $1 million.
My father gave me a small loan of $1 million.
So this is someone gave us a small loan of $5,000.
Small loan of $5,000.
Yeah,
This is what we would do
for our passion of music.
Yeah.
So
personal little production setups. Give me 1 second. I left my paper, my analog. I brought paper. Drake was clowning me because, his is
on my laptop.
On a laptop. I'm old school. I wrote it down.
You are
know
old.
What I mean, to be fair, I don't have the flexibility. I'm recording on my phone.
I'm recording my phone.
Your laptop is here. Mine is not.
You could have brought a laptop.
But why? Why would I just do that instead of just bringing paper? It was just easier. But
It's
hold
always
on.
an excuse.
I just have to grab my paper real quick. It has my list of shopping expenses.
While he's getting his list, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about the episode. But in this episode, there has to be a few rules applied. And in that rules that we have, there has to be a few things we have to fill out our budget. So it makes it a little bit fair. So including one has to be an interface. The second rule has to be at least 2 outboard gear. Then it also has to include headphones, a microphone, and you have to have some accessories, all with including $5,000, and you cannot go over that $5,000 budget.
Including tax.
Including tax.
Which is about 9.25% in the great state of Tennessee.
I actually put 10%.
I just did 10% as well for easily, it's for ease, but it is technically 9.25.
Yeah, I put 10%. So,
yeah.
But we're going to see who has the best roster of items that we picked with our budget. Sweetwater, I found all your stuff on you. So if you want to sponsor this episode or next episode, let us know.
Hit us up.
I'll be happy to take $5,000, make my own little thing I just talked about. That'd be completely awesome.
Yeah.
But how do you want to do this? Do you want to go back and forth about each item, or do you want me to or do you want to go just in category?
We'll just go.
Or do you want to go entirety?
Yeah, just go with the entirety. We'll go over our entire budgets here. Well, you know what? Let's just do that. No. Let's just do I like your idea. Let's do the individual.
Ones?
Do individual. You do yours, and then I'll do mine.
Bet. Alrighty. So I'll go first because I'm handsome and whatnot. So
man, act like I didn't just go get a fresh cut. Don't play with me.
Nobody can see it.
That's valid. That's valid.
Anyways, so okay, this is the budget, and the first again, there has to be rules. The rule has to be, and you have to involve an audio interface. And my first category of my budget is going to be the Scarlett Gen 4 18i20, and that costs $650. So, but here's the reason why. It has 10 channels inputs and 10 channels outputs. And also has an auto gain feature, and has 2 headphone jacks built in to the interface, where a lot of them only have one. Obviously, you can go on with the UAD, Apollo, but that's like more than half my budget, and I don't necessarily want to do that. I actually have the Scarlett Focusrite Gen 3 18i20 right now. We're actually using my Scarlett Focusrite 2i8 or actually I lied, it's 2i4, because my Gen 3 thing is not working right now, because if you heard from last episode, I was having some technical difficulties with it. But hopefully it's just, being a little fussy right now, and it wakes up and does everything well again. But I loved it since I had it, and especially with the new auto gain feature, I think it'd be a really good pickup, especially for somebody who's trying to get into a little bit more serious production. But since I had a little bit more cash, I decided to pick up the Scarlett Gen 4 1820. So that's my first one.
Sure. Okay, so important discernment here. Not discernment, that's not the word. Important differences in different studio types. It's important to know what type of production and what kind of things we'll be doing in our studios, right?
Mm-hmm.
So since yours has more inputs, would it be fair to say you'd be doing more like live instrumentation as well as
probably, like honestly with 10 channels you can, do things with drums, or you can do like kind of like a full band kind of thing if I do want to do like an overhead mic over the drums or whatever, and also like another like a kick mic or whatever, and a snare mic, whatever. You'd still have like room for the electric guitars, you just have room for the bass and vocals, keys, you want to get that done, so you have enough channels for all that stuff. So I would say more about that sense, because I would probably use that for more of a live setting. I'm trying to get in the project of right now of doing a live worship album, so like I'm trying to get enough channels where I can actually record everybody at the same exact time.
Gotcha.
So, but
okay,
and also in the Scarlett that I forgot to mention, but it actually has air bands in here as well, so you can actually go and you can actually add more air to the actual instrument that you're adding to, either vocals or guitars or drums. You want to add a little more high end to it. Also, there's a built-in talkback feature to it. There's also a pad lifter for every single input as well. So,
okay, I like that. Definitely, if I was going for a live setup too, that would easily be the one that I'm going for. More channels, the better when you're gonna do live applications, and especially for drums, like you're gonna use up probably 8 inputs.
Because you have overheads, you have room, you have kick, snare, bottom snare, top snare.
If we're talking those, it's going to be even more, because then you have like your hi-hat, you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the outside. So that's like about 9. Yeah,
but still, my whole entire interface can cover all those at one time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. You're gonna use those inputs.
Yeah.
My studio setup that I plan for is more of a self-recording setup, not really made for too much live instrumentation, mainly vocals and self-production. So like if I'm a one-man person doing production, this was the kind of thing that I'd be going for. So to that point, I went with the Apollo Twin MK2 Duo. Now this Heritage Edition, right? I found this for $545. All right, and it comes with the UAD analog bundle, analog classics bundle, right?
Okay.
So this is important because earlier, so the interface I kind of went back to later, because at first I chose a little bit of a cheaper one, which was the SSL. But I went back because I kind of trimmed some fat where I didn't need, and I planned on getting some outboard gear that I ended up not needing because of the plugins that I was able to get with this interface.
Yeah.
Right? So Analog Classics, that's going to give me a lot of the typical...
in reality, though, you're really paying for the plugins that come with the Apollo compared to the actual Apollo itself.
The Analog Classics bundle is $600 by itself if you buy it on Sweetwater.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So you're basically getting the plugins more than you are really getting the interface.
Yeah, the interface, I mean, it's doing its job. That's great, and...
That's a good pick. I didn't think about that because you get included plugins as well with the thing. Yeah. So that's pretty good.
And I love this. No dongle. It's straight on the interface. I don't have to have it, you know what I mean? Flashback to the dongle. We don't have to use those.
Yeah.
I don't want those in my life. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I went with for this one, because it's mainly I'd mainly be doing vocal recording on
Mhm.
there, and I can record vocals with that.
Yeah,
Single,
I agree.
Or
That's a good pick.
2 channel. Yeah.
That's a good pick. Alrighty, my second piece of the rules was outboard gear. You have to have at least 2, and my first outpiece gear is actually going to be the Warm Audio WA-73.
Nice.
Which is $800. But the reason I picked it is because it has a classic Neve style, the British style that like a lot of people use all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The Beatles and literally everybody in the freaking world uses a Neve 73 style preamp or whatever.
Is this the one with the EQ or without the EQ?
I think it is one with the EQ. I might be completely wrong though, but if I'm not mistaken, I think it is the one with the EQ.
Mm-hmm.
But
because they have one that's just the pre, it's a 73 still, but it's just the pre. But
yes, but the one I
but
picked
you
is
said
800.
Yeah, so it's the one with the EQ.
So
on it. Yeah,
but there's that one, but it's also a very affordable price for a quality sound.
Super affordable.
Because a regular Neve product is going to cost you around like $3,600.
Yeah,
so I'm like, I am not doing that.
No, sir.
But actually, my second outboard gear is actually surprising.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big shock for me.
Yeah.
So I was looking at it, and I found a Behringer 369 2-channel compressor for $500. It's brand new, and it's actually a stereo compressor. You can limit and dual mono functions, and it can actually go 1 5-to-1 and 6-to-1. 15-pin remote control, 15-pin remote control ports.
Yeah.
So you can plug in multiple access points into that compressor and actually have it as a multiple compressor for multiple different things at one time. So you can actually compress all your drums, all your drum mics at the same exact time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
which is
awesome.
Pretty crazy. So if you want to completely smash your drums, instead of doing a pre-processing, you just do that beforehand. You can just actually do EQ afterwards inside the box. But
nice.
I was pretty shocked that it can actually go 1 5-to-1.
So the 1.5.
No, it's 1 5-to-1.
1 5.
1 1:5:1.
Oh.
Okay. And it's also it goes stereo. Let's do dual mono.
Okay.
So you can.
You said it also goes 6-to-1.
6-to-1, yeah.
Right.
Which is not necessarily crazy.
Is that variable or is it just the 2 settings?
Variable.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
It has 2 VU meters as well because it's dual, so you can actually compress. You can compress one way. You can actually compress another way into it. So say you want to have you want to tame the highs, and you want to tame the lows on certain things. Yeah. You can do both those at the same exact time. It shows you the VU meters for both.
That's really cool.
But it's brand new, so it's like $500 from Behringer.
Well, guys, it definitely.
I was gonna pick the Warm Audio 1173. It's actually on sale right now.
76.
1176.
Yeah, me too.
It's actually on sale right now on Sweetwater. I think it was for like $400 or
400
or 4. No, I lied. What'd you pick it out?
I had it, but I took it off. I had it for 500. It was $499, cheapest I saw.
Let me check this out. Sweetwater Warm 1176. $499. So I lied. It was $500.
Yeah.
So, but still, $500.
$500 for a 76 that is almost identical is entirely worth it.
Dang! Since when did Warm Audio make a guitar pedal?
Dude,
for 1176s.
Yeah, no, they've had those for a little while.
Since when?
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy. I had no idea.
You gotta go get you one.
But yeah, that's $270.
That's not bad.
I mean, yeah, but it's kind of cool. It has a VU meter.
Yeah,
inside the guitar pedal. It's pretty neat.
You can so you can see how much.
You can see how much you're compressing. Yeah, that's actually pretty gnarly. That's a really cool idea. Anyways, I digress. So that's my 2 options. It's the Behringer 369. Also, the Warm Audio WA-73.
Guys, definitely recommend getting into compression, like just learning about it. When you do, you're going to become an addict because there's so many different types of compression and different types of character that you can impart on your music and on your sounds. My first one that I ever used was like a ART. It's a 2-channel stereo compressor.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. It's the ART VLA2, and it's a tube compressor, and you can change those out really easily and get like old German tubes, and it gives you super tasty saturation. I mean, it's amazing. But anyway, I digress. I didn't use that on this list because we got $5,000 to play with.
Yeah.
All right. So I went kind of big. Not really kind of big. I didn't go kind of big. But it is definitely obviously the bulk of like my budget as far as like these 2 items. So my paper is ripped, by the way. When I pulled it out of my pocket earlier, like I ripped it, so that kind of sucks. But there is a bundle
Bundle.
that Warm Audio sells.
I seen that. Yeah, I seen that.
It
Yeah.
is it's their 73, it's their
Yeah.
1073, and the CL1B.
What's that? 3K.
The 2.
2G.
It's $2,000 for both of them.
Is that including the 76 that with the preamp and EQ?
It's the 73 with the EQ on it,
And the CL1B.
and it's got the CL1B,
Wow.
which it equals out to about the same because the 1B is $1,200 anyway.
Wow.
So, but you get them together, and I was like, might as well just keep it together, nice and neat.
Wow.
Save on some shipping. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Because they'll come together.
That's pretty good. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie to you, that's pretty good.
$2,000 for that for 2 pieces of outboard gear, and you can run. And what I was thinking was I have to run everything as a chain anyway in this potential setup, so it would go from the 73 to the compressor and straight into that MK2.
Wow.
So
that's pretty good.
Yeah, so that's what I went with. If you guys don't know about the 1B, ask
You have to.
Kanye.
Yeah.
Ask Kanye about it. He will tell you.
Ask Jay-Z.
They will
about it.
tell you. It is elite. Okay, and it has
Ask
a
Post Malone about
bazillion.
it.
It has so many different functions and so many different applications.
Honestly, they really I don't know who the original people who made the CL1B, but whoever they did, they cooked. They
the
cooked with that compressor.
CL1B, I should know that. Look them up so we can shout them out properly.
Yeah.
The CL1B. It's
CL1
B.
B.
It's
by John G.
Tube Tech.
Preston by Tube Tech.
Tube Tech. Yeah.
How did I not know that? I knew that.
Yeah.
Duh.
Tube Tech. Me too. It's just crazy because like Warm Audio makes so many different things, and it's like might as well just
Warm Audio, I really need you to listen to this episode.
Yo,
I really need you
please.
to listen to our podcast. We're literally using your
Please.
microphones right now. Please give us a deal.
listen, please. Just
I'm begging.
Give us a discount code to give to our viewers. You know what I'm saying? That would be great.
I am literally begging you
Yeah.
to help my sanity.
Yeah.
I really need.
Give us a 5K shopping spree. Like we will put it to good use. We will do videos like outside of the podcast. We will do videos on all of them.
We're
Swear to
glazing
you.
right now, but
We are
that's all right.
honestly. And we should get off our knees, pause, because it's like we're over here like please.
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 I love you.
I love your stuff.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
won't have to glaze if they just didn't make good quality products.
I know. Like, what other company is out here doing this for this price point? It doesn't make any sense. 2,000, and I haven't even a single 1073 is $3,600.
Yeah.
I can get that and a 1B for 2,000. That's 2,200 out the door. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So anyway, yeah, those are my 2 outboard pieces. I was gonna go with the 76, but I didn't need it because of the analog classics that come with the interface and also the plugins that I'll mention later. So go ahead.
Word. At these soon, we're gonna do plugins.
I thought we were including them in accessories, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. I bet. Alrighty, I didn't add plugins.
Oh, you don't have to.
All right. So for the microphones, I actually labeled 3 microphones. Right. So 3 microphones.
Ooh, nice. Okay. Yeah, you guess.
Oh, actually, I lied. Let's go to headphones first.
Headphones
first.
Cool.
So headphones. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love Bear Dynamic. That's the ones I'm using right now. They're the open back. These are the 990s. And then Elliot has on the Sony. I don't know what they are. I forget what they are. They're just basically the studio standard Sony headphones that everybody freaking has.
It just says MDR 7506 dynamic professional.
It's just the ones that if you go to any studio, whatever, they have them there. But the ones I love most are going to be the Bear Dynamic. But I actually have 3 of them. Well, actually, I got 2 of. Okay, so first I'm getting off track. So I have the Bear Dynamic DT770 Pros, which are $150 each, and I got 2 of those for closed back for recording, and then super high quality. Because they're super high quality for the price. So I would have one, obviously, and I'd have somebody else at recording wear them as well. Yeah. They're closed back. But I also got I got the Bear Dynamic DT990 Pros for $160, and these are the open back, and these are primarily used for mixing, so you can hear the, outside, and you can also hear what's happening on the inside as well. So you can get a mixture, so it's not necessarily just closing your ears around, so you have nothing accept sound coming in, so you can
Right.
hear a little bit more of the natural room
Yeah.
into when you're mixing as well. So that's why I picked. So I picked those. So that's 300, 460 for those headphones.
Nice.
But again, they're just great quality. I'd recommend Beyerdynamic for anybody.
They are good.
I've had these headphones now for probably about, probably about 2018, 2019.
Yeah. They're comfortable too.
They're really nice.
Really
I mean, like mine are tearing a frame because how much I wear them. But like,
yeah.
I love them. I wouldn't trade these headphones for anything.
Sure. I went with cheaper headphones. For me, mostly it's monitoring, but I went with a pair that, again, I will get to plugins later. This is going to be important, but I went with Audio Technica. They're M20X. 2 pairs of them for $100. No sweat. You know what I mean? I just need them for monitoring. They do their job, and then I'm gonna mix in monitors later, which I'll also get to another tidbit.
Some people say that mixing with headphones is better.
I agree. I do a lot of my mixing in headphones, but I check my mixes on the monitors.
I think you should check. Mix some multiple different opportunities. I need to get me a little speaker on the side here so I can see what it sounds like.
Yeah, little tiny ones. Yeah,
I need to start doing that.
It's really good. Quincy Jones used to say all the time, check it in as many, as tiny of a speaker as you can find. Check it in that, and then check it in as big of one as you can listen to it on, and just adjust. So, but yeah, I just went with those. I wasn't putting a lot of headphones weren't my priority here at all. Like in
they're not mine either, but I just want to make sure that I have like good quality stuff.
Those are good. You have really good those are good headphones. Those are good choices. I just make sure I have good
quality stuff for just stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm more of a quality person than more of like a quantity person.
Sure.
Like I enjoy the finer things in life. Like me and my wife go to dinner for our anniversary all the time. We go to this place called Bourbon Steak in Nashville.
Yeah.
I've actually gone there so much. I'm actually on the manager's list, so I can just contact the manager whenever I want, and they'll just give me a seat whenever day I want, whatever time I want.
He's rich.
Yes. So I receive it. So, but yeah, it's one of those things like where I just enjoy that. But me and my wife go there. We spend like $300, $400, $500 on dinner, and it's just. But again, it's just for the nice.
It's for the nice.
It's just for the nicer quality.
No,
things
I know
in
it.
life.
Yeah.
Because again, like I view life as a thing where it's like, man, like we only have one of these things, and I want to make sure I get to experience. Yeah. Like the finer things in life, and a lot of people might sit there and say it's like, well, it's not really about the finer things in life. It's like that's true. I understand. Like, trust me, I still shop at Walmart. You know what I'm saying?
No, well, look, it's like it's nothing wrong with that because it's like there's just certain and especially things like food. Like I'm unwavering on good food. Like I will travel the country.
He's traveled places to go to get food.
I will do it. Like I will hop on a bus and go somewhere just to try. Like sandwiches, I will go to Philly just to get a cheesesteak, just because they don't have them like that everywhere else. Mm-hmm. I will go to Chicago to get Italian beefs. I will go to Maine. We will go to Maine and get lobster rolls, okay? I'm just waiting for him to say the word. We'll do it. But yeah, no, I totally understand. Like, there's certain things like my sleep sheets, like I have to have good fabric.
But there are things I think people that, view higher quality or things that are more of a necessity than they probably would view as like just like a thing. It's like, again, like, like people might view it's like, I need a $300 knife set for my kitchen. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm cool with getting stuff from Walmart.
Yeah, like if you're someone who like is like a chef, or you're like, I really need to have these like to specific steel and it has to slice through it like butter every time. Mm-hmm. Sure, go ahead. That's great. I just need some things to be practical. You know, sometimes I just need them to be practical and do the job that they're intended for. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the times with a lot of different things that people sell you, it's the user that makes the thing that gets the best out of them. We talk about that all the time, like with plugins and with equipment. You can have a $10,000 Fairchild, in your studio, but if you don't know how to use it, you just wasted $10,000.
And yeah, it's like people sit there and say it's like, oh, you got to get like this, you got to get this plugin, you got to get like the RVox plugin from Waze.
Yeah,
and it's like it's a good plugin, but if you don't know what you're doing with it, then it
doesn't really matter. Like I'm not a chef, right? Like I can prepare my food, but like, do I really need like metal that was forged in a volcano of like South Africa? I don't need all that. I just need something that's gonna cut the stuff that I need to cut.
Yeah.
And for headphones, for me, but specifically the headphones that I got, even though they are on the cheaper side, there are other things that will make those better, which I'll get to later. There are certain plugins that are that
I think I
would
know which
use.
one you're going to talk
You know
about.
what I'm saying?
I think I know exactly which one you're going to talk about.
Yeah, you do.
But that's my headphones.
Yeah.
And that's our headphones. But the next one I want to talk about is the microphones I'm going to pick up. Now, here's the thing. I'm looking at things for like all aroundness. I'm looking at things for what I can pick up for different experiences and different things.
Yeah.
So my first microphone I'm picking is a SM7B. I personally own one right here. I love my SM7B. You can see it's all beat up, rugged or whatever. I love this microphone. I've paid my money back on this microphone time and time again. I've done all my demos on this microphone. I've done all my productions on this microphone. I've done all this stuff on this microphone, and
it's a classic.
It's just a tried and true. Michael Jackson recorded Thriller on an SM7, not SM7B.
I was like, whoa.
SM7, SM7B, but this basically is just another. It's
a different version.
Yeah, it's a different version of SM7. So this is where its name really got from, is because of the Thriller album. But again, like if you go to any studio, they're gonna have this microphone. You see these on,
most people's podcasts.
You see them on podcasts. You see them on freaking, people's music videos. You see them when they do like these little covers on TikTok, whatever.
Yeah.
This microphone. It's a dynamic microphone. It's $350. I actually got mine. You can actually find
it's
them.
Such a good price for such a good.
But you can find it. I'm getting it from all my stuff's from Sweetwater. Obviously, I know I can find the same exact quality stuff like cheaper, like on Reverb or like on whatever. But all my stuff's on Sweetwater.
Yeah.
But you can find SM7Bs now for like $200. I think I paid like $400 when I paid for this microphone. So, but again, this microphone's paying for itself time and time again, and I love it. I think it's a beautiful microphone. I think it sounds great. It's very flat. It's very neutral. Again, dynamic, so it can pick up all the highs, all the lows, and it's just all centered. So you don't necessarily have to pick up sides, noise from the sides. It's all straightforward. So great microphone. So that's number one. Microphone number two is going to be, you guessed it, a Warm Audio product. It's going to be Warm Audio's WA251. Because I'm trying to get my vocals, because I believe the vocals would sound creamy like fettuccine Alfredo. You know what I'm saying? They would sound so creamy. But that's that one. And if you know anything, the 251, it's really warm.
It's warm. It's amazing. That's a tube microphone.
UAD makes one, but I think the original one was actually made by Telefunken. So the original one was made by Telefunken, I think, and you can find those for like $11,000. Warm Audio makes one for like $5,000, and that would also complete my whole entire budget, and I can't do that. But again, Warm Audio,
What was the last one that said makes one for $5,000?
UAD. Universal Audio.
Oh, you said Warm the last time, so I was like,
oh Universal Audio makes one for $5,000.
Yeah, I'm not paying
but
that.
I'm not paying that.
Now when I can get one for $800 on one,
I can get three for the same or four, brother, for the same price as one from UAD.
Yeah.
But again, if you don't know anything about the 251 microphone, do yourself a favor, search it up. They're absolutely fantastic. They're amazing microphones.
Yeah.
And my last microphone is going to be another Warm Audio microphone, and it's going to be the WA8000, and that is going to go for $1,200.
Nice.
And that obviously is an imitation of the Sony C8 or 800G.
Yeah.
Obviously one of the most premier microphones of all time. Those microphones go for like $15,000, but again, those microphones are absolutely outrageously expensive. And again, I can never afford one in today's economy, but I can afford one from Warm Audio. And again, just shout out Warm Audio. Thank you for making quality products for people, and just
absurd,
that are just so good, that are so affordable, and I really appreciate it. So shout out them. But right there, that's going to be looking at about $2,400. So most of my money came from microphones.
Okay, now listen, like practically, if this was if we didn't have to do the outboard gear, that's where I would have spent another $2,000. I would have spent that $2,000 that I spent on that outboard gear. I would have spent it on microphones, and I would have probably went with like the 47, and I would have probably went with the 67. The 47 is like 800. The 67 is like 600, and I probably would have went with a pair of 14s from Warm Audio. All of those from Warm Audio. I would have went for. That's what I would. I would have gotten.
We're actually using the Warm Audio
87
R2s.
R2, which is what is on my list, and that's the only mic that I bought on my shopping list.
You only picked You only picked the ones we have right now. That's the microphone you picked.
Yeah, because and it was because of we have to choose the outboard gear, and what the purpose of my studio was. I only need this one workhorse. I can record guitars on it. I can
Mhm.
record vocals on it. I'm not gonna need it for piano. I'm not gonna need it for drums. I'm not gonna need any different, textures. This one gets the job done from like essentially in my mind how I'm building this is if I'm just like a kid starting out, right? And
Mhm.
maybe I just got out of school for audio production and like I'm about to start my career,
Mhm.
right? That's the kind of studio I'm building. It's not really
Interesting.
to do work for other people. Whereas if I was doing work for other people, I would be putting more of an emphasis on different types of textures and different
Mhm.
types of sounds. Also, some of the other equipment that I'm gonna mention later, I
I'd
wouldn't have
make
gone with.
I'd make an argument that like I would swap that one. I would swap that. Just my opinion. I would
Mm.
swap the Warm Audio 87 R2
For
with a Neumann TLM 103. I'd swap those out.
I like. See, the 103 is good. I do like the 103. I don't know. I'm an 87 fan. Like outside of Warm Audio, I like the classic sound to it.
Word.
There's more of a, where the 103 is a little bit more modern sounding. It's on the
Mhm.
top end. My voice specifically, I like a little bit more, a tiny bit more beef on the mid range. And it's not a lot at all, but they do essentially the same thing. Yeah,
Mhm.
but I'm a loyalist when
I
it
see
comes
that.
to that when it comes to microphones
See
and
that.
stuff and brands. So but yeah, I understand where
Mhm.
you would come from with that with the one. But essentially, yeah, I feel like the name because Neumann makes the 47.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I could have went with
They made the
that.
87s too.
Well, yeah, they make the
They make
87s.
the 87,
Yeah,
67s, and 47s.
yeah. Literally, all of these are from that. So it's
Yeah.
like, um, well, I wouldn't be buying a Neumann 47 actually because that's like outside of my budget
Yeah.
alone. But yeah, that's what I went with.
But is that the only mic you have?
Yeah, this is only I only
Wow.
went with one. I went with a workhorse that I could do all the things that I personally would be using.
Alrighty. Well, what are your accessories then? Because I want to hear yours
Accessories.
first.
Okay, so with my accessories, right? The first thing I went with was Machine MK3.
Machine MK3.
The beat pad, yeah. So
wow.
and I like that. It's $500, right? And it comes with machines like with their software, and it comes with Native Instruments Complete 15. Native Instruments, amazing sounds for production, like as a production suite. I went with that, and then I also went with the Complete Control keyboard. That's 280. So for 780 after tax, you're at 850 in for those two. That's really all of the production I need. Like if I'm producing again for myself, I don't really need anything other than that. Like those have samples in them. They have sounds. I can do my drums. I can program my drums on it. I can play my melodies on the keyboard. I went with those because I figured I'd have to have a MIDI controller if I needed to produce music. You mentioned that the other day, and I was like, okay, yeah, I have to think about that. And at first, I was like, maybe I'll just go with like a cheap like Akai, and I was like, no, I could just go with like this one because it's gonna come with software. Again,
There you go.
I like bundles. I like bang for my buck. You know what I mean?
There you go.
I like bang for my buck, and that's what you get when it comes to those things. A lot of these, a lot of times, like we were saying earlier, you're paying for the software that comes with a lot of equipment. Equipment, like it's nothing for them to build a box with some buttons on it.
I
you know what I
agree.
mean?
A lot of stuff gets kind of like,
Yeah.
well, I don't. But here's the thing, though. I don't like looking at things sometimes. And it looks just cheesy.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
like there's like those other stuff like, oh, like we'll give you this, but like the bundle is complete dog water. And
Yeah.
It's like if you go to Guitar Center and you like buy like like the whatever Sterling audio whatever.
Yeah,
it's like oh look, you get like interface, you get a microphone. It's like that looks great on paper because you're paying a lot lighter price, but
Right.
you're getting less quality products,
Like,
and it's like it looks cheesy.
completely less.
And
Yeah,
it looks cheesy, and I'm like, this is. But
No.
again, as that you're getting practicality, but the
Right.
quality of it is a lot less superior.
Right.
To where if you actually sit there and say like, you know what, if I actually save 500 extra bucks, I can get myself something really nice that can
Right.
last me a while.
Yeah.
And I know people that, again, I know a lot of successful people that use like they don't even own like a freaking MIDI keyboard.
Yeah.
They don't even own a MIDI keyboard.
Oh,
what
sure.
they do is they literally just have people come in with their own, and they just have people play on it, or they can just borrow one from somebody.
Yeah.
And it's just like, because it's not practical for them. It's like,
Yeah,
why would I
definitely.
need this? But again, I know a lot of people that sit there, like that Misa dude that we talked about last episode. He sits there and he has a whole entire house just full of just for live recording. So he has microphones. He has microphones around his pianos, around drums, around amps, all that stuff. And so like, he doesn't necessarily need that because he's not necessarily like that kind of guy. But if he needs somebody to play MIDI stuff, he can just call somebody to come over and do that. Obviously, going to add it on to his package, whatever he's producing for.
Right.
But even if he doesn't want to pay for somebody, he has a bunch of people that he knows. He's like, hey, like, did you happen to, can I borrow a MIDI keyboard for a week? And he's like, yeah, sure. And like, we'll call it a day.
No, and again, like most like MIDI controllers, because like we call them MIDI keyboards. They're just controllers for MIDI instruments that are on there anyway. So like, if you're not getting one that
my Arturia one I have back here, that's a Mark III. That's a Mark III. I think it's a 61 key or whatever.
Yeah.
But it doesn't come with any. It doesn't come with any.
It didn't come with any software.
No, because it's
only a
Arturia
controller.
Product. Yeah, it's just a controller. But it doesn't come with any software on it. But if I use Arturia's products on it, it actually can like sync to
connect to it.
It can connect to it. And I can actually adjust the plugin for my keyboard.
So it encourages you to use both.
Yeah. So, but the thing is though, like when it comes like with a complete situation, like from Native Instruments,
it's gonna come with it.
It's gonna come with that kind of stuff. But again, but the quality of the keyboard might be less.
Well, yeah,
but there's like no like key weights or whatever thing like that. So people might view that or might value that.
Yeah.
But again, it's just one of those things. So it's preference at that point.
Again, and so the software with and again, I could have went, because you can obviously with Arturia you can use like it connects to the keyboard and everything with it. You can run faders on it and everything, run levels.
But it's like how like you can have like the machine controller. Yeah. And you can plug that into your key. You can plug it into your computer or whatever it is. Yeah. But you don't necessarily have to use it for machine products. You can actually like program it to do play keys or whatever. On it. I don't know how you do that, but machine.
Machine is like, I mean, it's just the beat pad or whatever, and you can use it as just the a pad to load like banks into. But I really got it just because of the what's the word? The function where you can make things quickly. Like you can program samples on that machine. Like so it's the one where it has the window and you can see the sample and you can chop your samples with the thing. So you can, instead of having to do that inside your DAW, you can do your samples on there, play them, and then shoot them over, like record them into like straight into Logic or Pro, or if you.
I'm not gonna cap at you though. Like there are some, and Logic is not perfect, but they have a sampler where you can actually go in there and cut your own pieces from samples.
Yeah, that's true.
And you can actually just play that again, like on your own pads, or you can actually program some keys. But again, it does have like the kind of like old school kind of vibe too with machine stuff like that.
I like it's so weird, but like I also like just the vibe of a machine. Like the machines are.
I honestly don't. I just think that, again, I'm not a boom bap, or I'm not like necessarily like a rap,
like or an R&B. Like it does. It's a lot of R.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not that kind of guy.
Right.
So I don't really necessarily see the practicality in it when I'm like more like a pop / country / whatever, or like like more like alternative rock or indie dude. It doesn't really seem to fit my niche, which is fine. But again, that's why it makes it for everybody else, and everybody else can enjoy it. But it's just like, for me, I'm like, I can literally do the same exact thing. Yeah. But what they're doing is I will give it to machine. They can actually, but what they do is they do it really well. They can take a sample in, but again, like there's a lot of fine tuning in there. Again, they can zoom in and they can like adjust exactly where they want the sample to be. I mean, obviously that's how a lot of samples back in the day were made. Yeah. Or a lot of splicing and a lot of cutting up or stuff like that was done those ways. But just like them doing what they've done for such a long time, obviously there's value in it. There's obviously like a lot of practicality into it for like if you want that like natural, like offbeat natural sense. But like I think that's where a lot of people are trying to like find that, is because like a lot of the stuff is not necessarily on perfect on time. There's obviously there's some push movement, there's some pull moment that can obviously make it feel like more humanized, where the sampling is not necessarily just so perfect on the grid, and I think people value that. Yeah, I think
that was if you look at someone like Dilla, he really Jay Dilla really perfected that when it comes to like using beat pads and getting his drum. And people still do it to this day. Like it's becoming like it's a resurging art where people are trying to make beats that way. Because a lot for like the longest, for like the last probably 20 years, a lot of people were really just using like not 20 years, maybe like 10 years. People were really just using Fruity Loops. Like they're going on there and they're sampling. You can watch these kids like these. Again, this generation is crazy. They will make a whole beat in like 45 seconds. Like they know what they want. They'll play like a simple thing. They'll transpose it, drag that sample to another thing, and then just change an instrument on it. And then like the whole thing will be done in literally a minute. And they're like, look how fast I just made that beat. And it's like, that's cool. But like there's something about playing it out, you know. I'm a drummer too, like that's my thing.
Yeah,
so
I can
like
also see that as well.
so from that aspect, and then the functionality of that and using the software that comes with it internally, because you can obviously pull that up in your DAW.
Do you know that guy that was on the news episode that sat there and she's like, are they like, can you show us what's something? He's like, of course.
He's like, of course. And he just goes crazy.
Goes crazy on it.
Goes nuts. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's
That's what I saw in my head when I said that.
That stuff's cool though. That stuff's cool. So I get it.
Yeah, and like, you can play those. You can play those live, and that's not what I would be doing. But like, you can play a machine live. It counts. It works.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I can just like appreciate that kind of artwork into it, where it's like you're making it almost like an instrument, not necessarily using it as a tool.
Right.
So like, you're making the tool an instrument and making the instrument a tool, and so I appreciate that sense of it because I can see the practicality. But again, I can see the practicality of what it does, but for a live setting like what he did, not necessarily, because would I ever go and see somebody, maybe like, because there's a guy named Fred again, he does that kind of stuff right now, he's like EDM producer, and he's literally playing on machine pads, just playing for his concerts, but he's doing it live, which is a lot more like, you know, not necessarily valuable, my eyes, but like, it's more impressive that this dude's actually like keeping things on time.
Yeah, like he's playing it live.
Like an
instrument.
Like an instrument. But compared to like what I want to see like a DJ, they have like a
playlist type deal,
and the singer having it on there.
Yeah, just press a button.
One button and just calls. And like I'm not impressed with that.
Yeah, I got you.
Like it's like, but if you look at something like on radio, how much of the songs on radio are actually using these machines? But again, I'm looking at this like pop music, not a lot.
No, but if you look at R&B and rap, there's actually a lot everywhere. Of them. I remember when
I think Travis Scott actually just did that one. Did you see that video of him like actually making a beat in the studio? Recently, it was probably about like 6 months ago.
I didn't see it.
He's doing an actual machine. He's actually like doing it actually like
We saw the one where Machine Gun Kelly was pretending to do it. It's not plugged in.
I can do new metal. It's like, where's the thing?
It's not plugged in at all.
It's not plugged in, dog.
You thought you fooled us. You didn't. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Like, but you know what though? Like, also, this is a little bit of like a vent point for me, brother. I understand you're on your grind and you're out here trying to get your music up and trying to get your numbers up and whatever. That's awesome. But do me a favor, if you're gonna film a video, if you're with a microphone, let the microphone plug it in.
I was just about to say
plug
that.
It in.
Plug it in.
If you have a guitar
you're
in the video,
out here in the streets. You're in the streets, and there's a microphone. You've got it set up, and there's nothing plugged into you, but you're up on it like you're rapping. We know you're lip singing. It's not coming through.
I mean, here's the thing, though. I already knew you were lip singing beforehand, right? But the problem is, though, is that like I like the ones that's like, it's like if you like the song, you know, give it a like, whatever. I'm like, how are you talking to the mic? I can understand where you can cut it up, and then do the video when you're lip syncing that second half. But like, you lip sync the entire thing, even the part where it says like, if you like this, give it a like.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you doing that? But again, if you have a guitar, just put the cable off the view of the screen. Get it out of there so we don't know.
Yeah, seriously.
I know you're lip syncing anyways, but it makes it look more natural. I don't know. Right. That's just a little personal pet peeve of mine. But yes, I agree.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so we got the MIDI keyboard, we got the machine, we got the MIDI keyboard.
And then so we're gonna go into plugins. I counted those as accessories.
Mm-hmm.
The Waves Horizon bundle is on sale
as of November.
It's right now. Matter of fact, it's about to go off sale as it's on Sweetwater.
What's today's date?
Today is the 17th, I think.
I think it's 18th.
I think today's is it? I think today's the 17th.
Is it 18th?
It's the 17th. It's right there in the top corner.
Oh, it is the 17th. Well, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, today's the last day for it, but it's only $250. You know, it's on sale for $200 for the purpose of this video. But $250 typically. I think with their sales, like if you get it on like before Christmas, like for the holidays or any other time they do sales, $250 is you're still spending less than $3. $3 per plug. There's 93 plugins that comes with it. Yeah, it's every single thing you need to mix and master. It's got compression with multiple characteristics, all the flavor. You've got EQ, you got reverbs, you've got delays, you've got limiting, spatial, saturation, you've got effects like lo-fi airspace. This one that I was going to talk about with my headphones that I chose on here.
Is it the Motion?
It's no.
Oh. That's just for like a
Yeah, that's a space. My friend has that one. I remember when he bought that. He was playing with it. It is the NX virtual mix room. And it has presets for over like 400 different types of headphones. And you can put in whatever your headphone is that you're listening on, and it will tune the audio in your headphone to make it sound like you're in an actual mixing room that's treated. Okay, that's important because you need to know what like sound is going to sound different in your headphones than it is when it gets played out.
And what's
loud.
It called? It's called the Waves.
It's called Waves NX virtual mix room. And they also have one like they have these mix rooms too based on it's a different plugin, but it's the same.
You can get the plugin right now for $30.
$30 you can get it. That Horizon bundle has this in it, and they have different ones where you can base it on a different studio. So there's one based on like Abbey Road studio, one based on Ocean Ways studio here in Nashville. And so it tunes it to that room. I just get the regular mix room. I mean, it puts you in a regular treated room, which is all you really need because you're not really going to be listening to music in either of these studios. But it's really good. I have this plugin at home, and I've used it to mix and master people's work, and it's more than paid for itself. It's really good. I love it. I don't use it like all the time, but if I need like extra help to try and get like something precise, that's what I use.
Yeah, you have Abbey Road Studio 3. You have the virtual room.
Yeah,
virtual mix room over headphones. You have the CLA. The Germano Studios, New York, Ocean Way, Nashville. You can actually get the collection right now. Oh my gosh, that's a deal. You can get the collection right now for $67 for all these.
Oh yeah, do that.
And they're usually like $30 for each, but you can get all of them right now for
$70.
For $70.
That's easy.
That's not bad at all, dude. Yeah. But actually, I lied. You only get the Ocean Ways, you get the Germano, and you get the CLA NX, but you don't get the Abbey Roads ones.
Because the Abbey Road is based. They're in their own collection, but but to get started out, the Waves Horizon bundle, you literally cannot go wrong. And at the price point of like $250, again, it's less than $3 per plugin. Most of them have a practical application. Like there's some software bundles where like you'll only use like 10% of the stuff. This is not one of them. If you learn to mix on all of these plugins that are in the Horizon bundle, it gives you the PrigTech EQs, which is based on Pultec, obviously. I think it has the Fairchild in it. If not, then that interface that I was talking about earlier has the Analog Classics. That has a Fairchild in it, which is the UA version, which is probably a little bit better. But it has 76s, 2As. This has the 3A that they make. Not a fan of the 3A, but it is good for like some crazy like distortion. It's got CLA guitar, so if you play guitar, I've used that before, and it's a really good guitar mixing plugin. A couple of one knob plugins. I don't use those too often, but if you want like some good driving or some good pumping action.
I was going to say that's the only one I know that's probably actually valuable in my eyes is the pump, but just basically it's good. A sidechain.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
It's a basic automatic sidechain that you basically just apply to it.
But. Yeah, and it's cool. But that, especially if you're just getting started out, that bundle gives you everything you. If you learn how to master all of those plugins, you will be a phenomenal engineer. Like all of the things that are in that one, it has like multiple limiters. It has the L2 Ultra Maximizer, my favorite limiter.
You are glazing over this bundle, which I get it. It's a great
important.
Bundle.
It's important to get, yeah.
But right now it's $200.
Yeah.
As the time we're making this episode, but at the
it'll
same
probably
time,
be $250.
but yeah, it might go back up after this episode. But it's still worth it though.
Yeah, it'll be about $250 on. If you get it before Christmas, it should be about $250.
Yeah. Well, Waze might make a deal.
Yeah, they might. Yeah, they could. They do stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And I believe that is all of my accessories.
Wow. Is that your final list?
No. I also have a pair of Yamaha HS4s for $185 right now.
Not bad.
They're 4.5 inches, which is like obviously a half an inch less on the sub than like a 5, but for the price point, can't beat that. And it's really only for doing like certain monitors and mixing. Again, I do a lot of mixing in headphones, and then I just do references between the two. So I got those, and it's just because I had extra money. And then that put my total at $47.99, right? So about $4,800 all in. And if I wanted to be, fun, well, let me first say this. What I would do with that extra $200, I would get acoustic treatment for my studio room, right? I make my own acoustic treatment out of like...
Because you're a handyman.
Out of like insulation and fabric. You can go get fabric from Walmart for not practically nothing, but it's not that expensive. And then you can go to like Home Depot or Lowe's and get Safe and Sound insulation bats, and then put those on. I have them on Dollar Tree, like foam board, and then I nail them to the wall. And my rooms are treated. I have my studio and my bedroom treated for sound, and so there's not like a bunch of reverb bouncing off, because like I don't like reverb just bouncing around it, like for any purpose. Like I have rugs down in my rooms just because I don't like space sounding, but I would do that. And if not for the acoustic treatment, I'd spend an extra if I spent like $100 on those on that treatment and then made it myself, I'd spend another $100 on like a gamer chair from what was that website? GT Racing. Get one for like $89. Cost you $100 all in. And that's just to be comfortable while I'm making my beats, because
not bad.
You need comfort to be dope.
Well, is that your final list?
That's my final list.
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Brown, I have to apologize to let you know that I have beat you in this challenge.
I didn't know that it was like a challenge. I just thought we were doing
it. Was a challenge.
Oh, well, that's cool. I mean,
I beat you though.
How did you beat me? What?
Because I actually have a microphone cable for my microphones. So I actually won. So I actually have a Behringer female to male microphone cable for $17. So
he's like, your studio won't run.
Your studio can't work. Sorry. So while you're out here trying to figure out how to get things working, mine will be successful making money.
That's funny.
But I also have, for my other, I only have 2 accessories, and that is the Arturia Mini Lab 325 Slim for $100.
Nice.
So again, obviously just get MIDI stuff out there in case you need it or whatever. And my total came out with tax is $4,926.
Nice.
So, but yeah, so
that was fun though.
That was fun.
Yeah, please send us
I wish I had $5,000 to spend.
Sweetwater, Warm Audio, hook us up with a shopping spree and let us go to work. All right, let us go to work. We will make you proud, guaranteed.
Please.
And yeah, just hook us up. Let us cook. Let us cook.
Let us cook.
We will cook in any genre that you want to see.
But we love you guys. We appreciate y'all for sticking around with us for the 7th episode of the You Gotta Get Up podcast. More fun, exciting things to come up in the near future. Stick around. You don't want to miss it. But until then, we love you. We'll talk to you later. Peace.